My hope for this podcast is to create a safe space for us to connect and share and support one another. Welcome to Mom Mentality, your virtual village of support. I'm Jessica Campbell, your family wellness coach, and I am committed to helping you prioritize your and your family's well-being. This podcast will be like your favorite ladies group chat come to life. We'll share the ups and downs of life for moms just like you, get real advice from coaches and experts, and I'll pop in with my own stories and tips on everyday challenges to the big questions. Whether you're juggling work from home, balancing adult life with parenthood, tackling ADHD, yours or your kids, or just trying to catch a breath, Mom Mentality is your spot. Welcome to the very first episode of Mom Mentality. I'm so glad you're joining me today. I've always thought the holidays, especially like Thanksgiving, can be a really bittersweet holiday. Obviously, we gather with loved ones, we spend time enjoying each other's presence and making sure that we give thanks, but it can also bring up a lot of feelings of loss and loneliness and stress. But even in the midst of those challenges, I have learned the power of gratitude to shift my perspective. I used to totally think that gratitude and mindset were just woo-woo things. And I can't even tell you how much my life has changed since I kind of succumbed to this idea that I had the power to choose my reality in a sense. My hope for this podcast is to create a safe space for us to connect and share and support one another. So without further ado, I want to discuss the power of gratitude, the resilience of the human spirit, and then practical tips for navigating this crazy holiday season. So starting off, gratitude is more than just this fleeting feeling of thankfulness. It's more than just 30 days of posts for the month of November. It's more than just saying what you're grateful for at the end of the night. It's actually a really powerful tool that can transform our lives. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude can actually reduce stress, improve our mood, and strengthen our relationships. One really easy way to cultivate gratitude is just to keep a gratitude journal. Every day, write down a few things that you're grateful for, no matter how small, and this can help you shift your focus from negativity to positivity. Now, the thing about that is you're focusing more on the joys of your life rather than dwelling on the negative. Have you ever been in a bad mood and it seems like everything's going wrong? You're running late, then you get stuck behind somebody driving slow, or you go to leave the house and your sleeve gets caught on the door handle. That's because your mindset is like stuck in this negative space, right? So you're noticing all the little negative things that normally would go unnoticed, but drive you more crazy because you're just in a bad headspace. That's true of our day-to-day lives. So when you keep this gratitude journal, you're starting the practice of focusing on the things that make you happy and bring you joy. And you're shifting that focus to highlight the good things in your life rather than the bad. And actually, there is a book called The Happiness Advantage by Sean Aker. And I will link that in the show notes as well. But he actually talks about the fact that happier people tend to perform better and tend to do better. But when you create a gratitude journal or you start focusing on those things, what it actually does is train your brain to start scanning for the good things. So if you're writing down 5 things you're grateful for every day, your brain knows that that's your habit and that's what you're going to do. And so throughout the day, your brain is actually going to start looking for those positive things so that you're ready come time to write in your journal and you're not just lost. So there actually is a scientific backing of that on how it actually trains your brain to look for the good in your life. And I mean, let's face it, we've all faced challenges. We all have things going on. None of us comes out of this life unscathed from any hardships, but sometimes it really feels like we're just completely drowning in them. But it's so often that the things that we go through that are so difficult really become a catalyst for more growth, and they help us shape who we are as people and change the trajectory of our lives. I know for me, I was struggling a lot with mental health and trauma, and I got to a point in my life where I actually was craving some positivity. I was just looking anywhere I could look. I mean, TikTok or Instagram, and we were in the middle of a pandemic and it was just so crazy, but I was craving someone to be the light in my life because I felt like I was just surrounded by so many negative Nancy's and just people who were feeling so down and not seeing just how it was kind of like consuming all of us as a group. And so I actually, within that craving of positivity, I started navigating towards business coaches and network marketing. And I ended up paying for a business coach that was heavy in mindset work. And I can honestly say that that changed my life forever. The last 3 to 4 years have been astronomical in the growth that I've had since I learned to work on my mind and learned to practice the gratitude. I learned to practice challenging challenging the negative thoughts I was having. I learned to practice how to find the joy in my life, how to simplify, how to be a more joyful person and have my own back and allow myself to not succumb to the negativity of the world and the things we see on TV and all over. I just learned how to guard my heart and my brain so much better through that work that I was able to do. And I think had I not gotten to a point where I was just struggling so hard and craving that positivity, I may not have gotten to this point. And I can see now, I can connect those dots in my life of the challenges that I went through and just how much those dots have connected to get me to where I am today, which is better than I've ever been in my life. And I just feel like I'm in a really good place right now. And I mean, that's neither here nor there. I just want to encourage you that it may be hard now, but you have no idea how quickly things can change when you are using your hardships as a tool for growth rather than allowing them to hold you back. There are so many stories of other people who have faced adversity and they've come out so much stronger. Like we have so many people around us, if we stop and listen to their stories, that can be so inspiring for us. And we don't even realize it because we just kind of have tunnel vision, I think, right now. Their resilience really can inspire us to keep going. So just look for those good things. Challenges lead us down unexpected paths and open us up to new opportunities. If we can embrace the struggles that we're going through now and in the future, or struggles we've gone through in the past that we're trying to heal and overcome, we can find our hidden strengths in that and a deeper sense of purpose. And that's exactly what I've done. I'm saying this, I'm telling you this from someone who has walked that walk, and I thought I was going nowhere. I was in a place where I really thought that I was just not meant for more than what I was dealing with. I was going to be meant to suffer my whole life. And now that I'm on the other side of that, even though I'm still building up my business and still working on things in my life, I am in such a healthier place because I chose to do the work and have the accountability and chose to practice that muscle of finding the gratitude, of checking my thoughts, of all of the things, therapy and mindset coaching and all of the things. I chose to show up for myself and for my family and do that work to build that muscle of joy, because the reality is we've kind of lost how to just be joyful, and it does take practice to be happy. You know, they say happiness is a journey all the time, not a destination. And that's true. But happiness is also something that we get to choose over and over again. And we get to practice learning how to be joyful and integrating that into our body. I do have to say, having a good support system, whether it's one person or 20, is so crucial for navigating those challenges, though. I don't think I could have done it alone. And having, even with the negative family, right? There are people that sometimes are just more pessimistic, and it is what it is. And we love them just the same because maybe they're not as self-aware or they don't quite know how to get out of that yet. Just like I said, we're all on a journey. Maybe they're just not there and you are. Having people that you can know have your back is so crucial. And it can be one person. For me, my husband has been such a rock for me, and he's allowed me to grow and do the work and change who I am and find myself. But it could be, it could be 20 people. But for me, my husband was very helpful. So even having one person that you know has your back and fully supports your choices to better yourself and wants to hold space for you is so invaluable when you're trying to get through these hardships in life. Our communities, both online and offline, can provide so much love and encouragement and the practical help that we need. I know for myself, I looked for a lot of spaces online. Finding people who were kind of on similar journeys as me ended up being more online, and I was still able to find so much growth and value there with people I never met, but we were able to support each other in the online space. So if you can't find that at home, I encourage you to get online and look around and see where you can find people. And I know I personally am building up a free community where I want to get moms in there who can support each other, who are on the same mission and have the same values to an extent. Of course, we're all unique, but like the overall core of our being is very similar. And I want to be able to support each other in that and have that respect and that openness to care and share with each other in that community. Now, getting back to the holidays specifically, it can be such a joyous time, but it's also so stressful. And especially if you're a busy mom. So you have like financial stress, social stress, mental stress, emotional stress. It can be really hard. There's so many opinions. There's so many things going on. I know for myself, I used to be a people pleaser and I had a very hard time being around people because I didn't have boundaries in place and I didn't know how to put my boundaries in place. And so I want to encourage you before going into these holidays, practice some mindfulness. Take a few minutes each day, focus on your breath, be present, paying attention to your needs, your body, the things that are coming up for you. Being mindful and self-aware is so helpful in guiding you through what your needs are. I want you to try to set realistic expectations. Don't feel pressured to do everything. Be okay with delegating. Be okay with spacing things out if you need to. Some of us have multiple family Thanksgivings, and that's okay. You may not make it to all of them. Do your best, but also know that people might not be super happy with the decisions you make, but you have to make the decisions that are best for you and your family. So try to be realistic and upfront about what that looks like for you and for your family. And then please, 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 if I say nothing else, prioritize your self-care. Just because you're a mom doesn't mean you don't deserve self-care. And it doesn't have to be, going to the spa for 3 hours. It can be having a cup of coffee alone in the morning while it's still warm. It can be going for a walk with your dog free of children talking. It can be something so simple. It could be taking a bath. It could be there's so many things. You could color in a coloring book. You could have your spouse give you a little massage or whatever that needs to look like. Please take care of you this holiday season because it is so important. We cannot pour from an empty cup. And they say it all the time, but I can't tell you how true that is. The better you feel, the better you're going to show up and the better your family is going to feel and the better you're going to feel. Because if you can take care of yourself and then are in turn able to take care of other people, that's going to give you such a deep sense of joy knowing that you're able to show up in the way that you truly want to. And of course, like leading into all of these holidays and the new year, it's a really good time to kind of reflect on our past experiences and set those intentions for the future. So as you're going through these holiday seasons, I want you to also be mindful of the things that you do enjoy and the things that you don't enjoy. And keep note of that, whether it's in your head or actually writing it down. Take an inventory, a personal inventory of the things that fuel you and your family and the things that just add way too much stress. Reflect on that as you go into the new year and take some moments to kind of highlight those things. And then also ask yourself the questions like, what did you learn about yourself through this? What are you proud of? What do you want to let go of? Make sure that you're not just reflecting by looking back, but really asking the hard questions of what you want life to look like and what things are going to turn into those non-negotiables that you're like, I'm just not going to do it. For me, we used to get family photos every Christmas. And while I love that tradition, it just added a layer of stress that I was not prepared for because I always waited till last minute to get our PJs. And then we had to schedule the time and it seemed like our family was always getting sick. It just made things so much harder. So we started taking pictures at home and they've turned out just fine. And we can get pictures any other time. It does not have to be Christmas PJ pictures. We could do our Christmas PJ pictures at home. And then in a slower season, we can get family photos done that we can hang up all year round because they're not specific to a season. So for us, it just made sense to cut that out and plug in something else like baking cookies more, or I just got a homemade gingerbread kit so we can make our own gingerbread houses. It's like a cookie cutter set to make your own. So I'm pretty excited about that this year. We have never done that before. So after you reflect on this stuff, when you sit down after Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, and you go into this new year, set some intentions for yourself. Be specific. Make sure you're saying things like, instead of be healthier, you're saying things like, I want to exercise this many times, or I want to eat this many servings of fruits and vegetables, whatever. Try to keep it specific. Visualize your intentions. Write them down. Make sure that this is the season of intentionality as we go through the next like 6-ish weeks of the year, the last 6-ish weeks of the year. Take the time to truly be intentional. Review those intentions after you've written them down and review them often. And by next holiday season, you will have built up so much strength and self-awareness and confidence in what you know you want your life to look like with your family, that by next holiday season, it's going to be a piece of cake and you're going to know exactly what you want it to look like. You're also going to be able to give yourself the grace if it doesn't all work out exactly how you plan, to say, I still enjoyed myself and I still did the best that I could. With that, I want to thank you all for joining me today. We've explored the power of gratitude, the resilience of the human spirit, and practical tips for navigating the end of the year. I am so grateful that you were here with me today and I had this opportunity to connect with you. I just hope that this holiday season for you is filled with love and joy and peace. And if it's not, I hope that you're able to give yourself grace and allow yourself to be a human and allow yourself to still show up for you and your family, even in the mess, even in the hard, and find joy in all of the darkness that can sometimes come with the holidays. I invite you to share this podcast with someone else who might need it. And I invite you to just spread positivity and support your fellow moms, because we know we all need it and it's okay to say that. If you enjoyed this, I hope that you subscribe. I hope that you leave me a review, as we are on a new journey with a new podcast. And I'm so excited to be able to bring you some more insights, inspiration, and support, because you deserve it. Remember, you are powerful, you are worthy, you are valued, and you are loved. Keep pushing, keep loving, and most importantly, keep believing in your amazing ability to empower your legacy.